Crește bilanțul victimelor din Seul. Sute de persoane, vă aduc aminte, s-au călcat în picioare la o petrecere de Halloween. 153 au murit strivite după ce s-au îngrămădit pe o stradă îngustă. Președintele sud-corean a fost la locul tragediei și a declarat doliu național. Corespondentul CNN, Paula Hancock, are informații de la locul tragediei.
And just the sheer number of people in this fairly restricted area was significant. Tens of thousands of people were being told by officials. You can see the alleyway behind me. This was one of the areas where it's filled with bars and nightclubs and restaurants. It was filled with people. This is part of the area where the problem was. And about 150 feet behind me, there's a smaller alleyway just to the right, and that is where the vast majority of those people who died lost their lives. Now, we have spoken to eyewitnesses who said that it was terrifying. One woman told me she had been pushed into the stairwell of a bar, and she felt that she was one of the lucky ones because of that, because she was able to get out of the crush. We saw also images of people actually climbing the vertical walls of buildings to try and get away from the crushed area. Now, eyewitnesses we've spoken to said that when they saw what was happening, they saw people who were carrying out CPR on friends, on people who simply couldn't see any medical attention. The first aiders were there, the first responders were there, but the sheer magnitude of this tragedy was overwhelming, and there weren't enough medical personnel, were being told by eyewitnesses, to deal with what had happened. So what we know at this point, we actually heard from the Minister of Interior and Safety saying that there had been a considerable number of police that had been sent to another part of Seoul because they thought there were going to be protests there, but also pointing out he didn't believe that it could have been solved, this incident, if they had had more police here. Now, of course, the investigation has just begun, so I think we have to wait to see what that finds out. The eyewitnesses I've spoken to, though, said that there was no limit to the number of people. There was no crowd limit. There was no crowd control as far as they could see. One particular eyewitness saying she wanted to come into this area, but she physically couldn't get in and realised that it was looking dangerous. Now, we've just had an update as well on the number of injured. We know 153 people have lost their lives. 133 people, we're now being told, are still injured. They were sent to different hospitals around this particular neighbourhood. Now, this is the heart of the entertainment centre in Seoul. This is on a normal Saturday, very busy and packed. But for Halloween, this is the area where most people who want to party within Seoul will come. They're young people. They are in their late teens. They are early 20s. And this is many of the people who lost their lives here. So an absolute tragedy. What started as a night of revelry has just had horrific consequences.